Taking a cue from other raunchy R-rated friend trip movies like The Hangover and Girls Trip, we now have Joyride. Let's talk about it. Hey guys, Dan here. This is Dan Reviews It. Welcome to my spoiler-free review for the new film Joyride. This enjoyed a small run in theaters earlier this summer, just for a few weeks, but now you can get it at home on demand and in a couple weeks time of this recording on DVD and Blu-ray as well. So a few different options there if you did miss it in theaters. I was lucky enough to actually catch this one in theaters a few weeks back, and I wouldn't say it was a packed house, but there was maybe 15 or 18 other people in the theater. So it was nice with an R-rated comedy like this to kind of be in, kind of a decent-sized group and hear everybody laughing and stuff. So before we launch into the specifics of this movie, though, let me welcome you into Dan Reviews It. Thanks for finding this video. We've got movie and TV reviews galore on the channel here. I try to post something new just about every day for you, be it a TV review or a movie review like this one. Please consider subscribing down below. Would love to have you there. Or just like this video, comment down below. All that stuff does, of course, help the channel out. All right, so in this film, you have four friends. Well, not all friends, I should say, but four ladies that go on a trip to Asia. You've got Ashley Park, Sherry Cola, Stephanie Sue, hot off an Oscar nomination for Everything Everywhere All at Once, and Sabrina Wu, who was recently named, one of the top 10 comedians to watch, like up-and-coming comedians. So some good stuff there. But this basically is about this gal, Audrey, who goes on a business trip to Asia, but things go a little bit awry, and so she enlists the help of some of her old friends, one of her childhood best friends, Lolo, played by Sherry Cola, and then her college friend, who has turned into one of the hottest Chinese soap stars around, Kat, played by Stephanie Sue, and then Lolo's eccentric cousin, Deadeye, played by Sabrina Wu. And as you get to, with a lot of these sort of raunchy R-rated comedies, a lot of things happen. There's, some nudity, some drugs, some harsh language, etc., all the things that you've come to expect in movies like this. But I will say, unlike in the movies I mentioned up front, The Hangover and Girls Trip, this one actually has a really interesting emotional center. Yeah, there is some, infighting between the girls, and, we kind of expect that. The women, I should say. I've got girls on the brink as a Girls Trip, but, there's some infighting between the people involved. In fact, Deadeye and the person portraying Deadeye are both non-binary, so I shouldn't even say all women, people. But in any event, yes, there's, some sort of friendship fighting there. But the real emotional core of this movie comes from an adoption storyline with one of the characters looking to find their mother. They were adopted in the States by white parents. These are all, Asian Americans, Chinese Americans, and so that kind of factors into the storyline, and part of this trip involves seeking out the mother, and it comes to a really, really kind of emotional crescendo that I did not expect with a movie like this. So I think that does maybe put it in, a group a little bit separate from something like The Hangover, which is just kind of, craziness, zaniness, at its core, and maybe puts it into a category sort of like a Bridesmaids, which that was obviously all women as well, but it did have a real emotional center in some scenes as well. And that's kind of what I did not expect from this movie. Now, in terms of the joke ratio, a movie like this needs to kind of be firing on all cylinders all the time, and I'm not sure this movie ever does quite get there. I would say the hit rate for the jokes is better than 50-50. I'd give it maybe a 60-40 or even a 65-35 if I'm being generous. But there's a lot of jokes that fall flat, either because they're just simply not funny, or they go that route of, oh, well, let's have the character say the really raunchy thing, the end. Like, there's no joke there. It's just, oh, she's being raunchy. Oh, women aren't supposed to say that, or, like, whatever. that never really does it for me. I talk about that on the channel a lot. The other R-rated comedy, in terms of a big budget comedy that we got this summer was No Hard Feelings with Jennifer Lawrence, which I thought was really really good. I gave it a B plus, could even be higher by the end of the year. That had a much higher joke ratio, but didn't have a ton of emotional resonance, a little bit, in there, but the joke ratio was just like kept firing, 80-20 maybe, for that movie. So the jokes here, not quite as good. And when they did hit, however, there were really truly laugh out loud moments in which I was happy to be in a theater with, a few other people. We were all, knee slapping and whatnot. But then that area of kind of like dead calm, when the jokes don't hit, and it's sort of like, okay, I wasn't the only one who didn't really think that was that funny. So yeah, on that level, I wish the ratio was a bit higher. But it's great to see these movies sort of making a bit of a return. For years, I think people got kind of burned out on the R-rated comedy thing, myself included. And so it's nice that the couple of biggies that we've got so far have been on a little bit of a higher level than some of the ones, sort of in the mid 2010s, let's say, where they kept putting them out like one every 2 weeks or something. And a lot of them just weren't that good. Here we've got some really, really nice chemistry with the leads. You can sort of get that sense that, oh yeah, these people were friends for a while, or these people maybe are sort of or enjoying a new friendship kind of thing. I think though the breakout here is the Deadeye character, like I said, portrayed by Sabrina Wu. And for one thing, I can't remember the last like big budget studio movie, comedy, drama, or otherwise, really, where a non-binary character was really, front and center and not sort of off as, a distant character, somebody very ancillary, and portrayed just as a normal person. Their identity was not really at all part of the character. I don't think we get that really ever in sort of these big budget movies. And you can tell me if I'm wrong in the comments, please do, because I would love to know. But in my memory, I can't remember one where it just wasn't part of an issue or something at all. It was just, this is who they are, and so we'll enjoy that. And for me, I think Deadeye probably had, some of the best lines in the movie. So definitely a breakout character for me, and a breakout actor. I'm unfamiliar with really everybody in this except for Stephanie Sue. I guess I'd seen Ashley Park maybe in something or other. This was directed, by the way, by Adele Lim, and she is a first-time director here, but she has written two of really the great Asian stories in Hollywood cinema the last few years. She either wrote or co-wrote Crazy Rich Asians and Raya and the Last Dragon. So, both obviously really good representations. And that's another thing, this was, filmed kind of on location here, so we see it's not as glorious and beautiful as the scenery in Crazy Rich Asians, but it is, nice to see some of those other, countries that I don't usually get to see on camera from a Hollywood movie anyway, between, a couple of different countries that they go to. So overall, I think this is definitely worth a watch. I don't think it's quite up to that same level as No Hard Feelings from earlier this summer, but now that it's available for you on the home viewing, I think it is worth a watch. I give Joyride a B. Definitely a little bit higher than it would have been with that nice emotional core as well. So, all right, that will do it for Dan Reviews It. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.